voluntary motion. We go to the gym, we come to yoga class, we do all that to make our physical bodies good, but what do we do for the mind? Well, if you're like me, I went to therapy a couple times. Nah, that didn't work. Well, what am I going to do? Until I came across the yoga masters and the sages in the Himalaya Mountains, did things start to shift when I started to learn this information. It's very powerful. If you just contemplate what it means, don't have to even understand, just what does it really mean? And if I'm in this state here that I am being judging, judgmental, non-compassionate, how do I move from there to feeling good, no matter what they're doing there? And I'll give you some real life examples in a minute of how powerful that can be, of what I learned about that. Okay. Okay. So this handout you don't have, I'm just going to read you some of the stuff off of it. These are also emotional mastery attitudes that we talk about in yoga during the yoga classes. Or if you take me up on your private session, we will talk about these in more detail. When you appreciate others the way they are, without a desire to change, then you remain in your power at peace. When you stop lobbying for your limitations and negativity and start advocating to what you want and what makes you feel good, you're on the path to emotional mastery. What is perfect for me is always unfolding. Meanwhile, I am thankful for this, and I'm eager for the path that's going to unfold. Do you get that one there? Everything in my life is unfolding perfectly right now, this second. You sitting there, me standing up here is perfect. And what's going to happen 10 minutes from now is going to be perfect, and all day. Meanwhile, I'm thankful that I'm leaning against the chair, that Linda brought me a coffee, and I have a tea. I have choices. I have coffee, tea up here. And I'm eager for the path that will unfold for me and for you. That's one more. And then another one.
Mr. Parenti, can I ask a question on this? How do you rectify this fourth attitude with being a change agent when you see things that are inherently wrong or evil or whatever?
That's a powerful question.
How do you rectify that to be a change agent and yet still retain?
Well, I'll go back to the story I told you about the article I wrote on being non-judgmental. When I recognized, I was in the military too, and in the Orient during the Laotian era before Vietnam, and I became aware that people die expectedly when they're in the military. That's what you sign up for. And you're fighting not to save this country, you're fighting to save your own life. When you're in combat, you don't give a damn about America. Nothing. Oh, I want to stay alive. I'm down here, and some guy shooting him, I'm going to get him first. Then you reckon I've been raised a certain way, in a certain country, in a certain time frame, by certain parents. I cannot behave in any other way than maybe be evil, because that's the way I was raised. That's my program. Now, how do we maintain the non-judgmental part is by recognizing you also have been programmed a certain way. So it's program, judging program. When I got that part, in other words, ego, judging ego. When I saw that, I recognized they can't behave any other way than they're behaving. So why would I want to judge it? Now, would I interfere in something that was wrong? Probably. Something would kick in and would say, hey, you can help out here. A child being beaten by an older person, perhaps, or something like that. I would interfere. But to make the person wrong was doing that. That's all my dad said to me one time when he used to beat us. I talked to him many years later. He says, well, that's how I was raised. That's what makes a man. I get it. I mean, you know, it's, the attitudes are very difficult, or a challenge, I should say, a challenge to develop, but they can be done. I know I didn't answer your question, but anyone else have some feedback on that?
I have.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's so easy right now with the wars that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
Israel bombing the Palestinians, with Ukrainians fighting among one another. So we tend to want to take sides and find out who's wrong and who's right. If you stay in the neutral position, you realize they're all programmed to do that.
That's right, and they've been fighting for thousands of years. Yes?
Well, if you want to be an agent of change, there's also the way you approach it. You can take a positive way to change it as opposed to a negative. Where, would that answer the question? I mean, because it seems like if you are positive and try and work with somebody, more likely to happen and it keep you well, instead of being negative, saying this is what's wrong with you and this is what's wrong, and then you get into a negative.
Okay, the agent of change. At 18 years old, I was in a country called I was in Laos, and they were running military operations up into the jungles, and we were in the security team for the State Department. And I began to see that when I got out, I wanted to make change. So I went and got a degree in international relations. I decided I'd become a foreign service officer in the State Department. Well, that didn't work out, so I got picked up by a secret intelligence organization for espionage, American. And I went to work for them with the thought of making change. I learned very quickly the change was here, not there. I had to change inside me. I couldn't change that out there, because people will behave the way they want to behave no matter what you try to do. You cannot control other people unless they're little kids. And when they get to about what? Who has kids? Five. When they get to 5, what happens?
They're their own person.
They have a mind of their own.
They got their own mind. These things that are written that we're talking about require deep contemplation on your part and on mine. And that's where you get the answers that you're really asking, is in a deep contemplation, meditative state, genuinely asking that kind of question. That's a great question, by the way, it really is, and I appreciate it. Any questions that you ask, or yes?
I just have a comment, if this makes sense of the thoughts that we're talking
Sure.
about. Mother Teresa, I read, said something that she will not join a protest. It was something to this, paraphrasing. She would not join a protest against war, because that's a negative. But she would,
Got it. You
she
got
would
it.
join something that was for peace. So it was the opposite. Is that?
Or something.
Everybody get that?
Or
What she just
something.
said? The negative approach, beating the drum of negativity, anti-war. I'm for peace, beating the drum for peace.
There are two words, against or for.
That's right, thank you. Very good. Any other questions? Okay. So let's get some more tools. Empowering tools to feel good. You have two of the most powerful ones already. And if you only kept the second one, the 4 attitudes, you could forget the whole workshop we need right now. If you had it. Now, we're going to talk about the law of attraction, understanding the emotional scale, appreciation. Wouldn't it be nice if I'm in the process, scripting, positive mental attitude. We talked about releasing judgment already, empowering questions, mirror techniques, and value history. The tool, all of this is designed for one thing. And what are these designed for? Feel, thank you very much. Feel good. God, I didn't bring it. You know, I'll come back to it. It'll come back to my mind. Okay, now, so we're going to go to the next one. Let's get started. We're going to talk about the law of attraction. Now, does everybody know who Napoleon Hill was?
Yeah.
Okay, he was an author back in the 20s and 30s. He was Andrew Carnegie hired him at no pay to interview people like Henry Ford, Woolworth, J.C. Penney, etc., and to write a book about success that he would make available to the common man, that they could uplift themselves and be successful. He made more millionaires than any other person in that century. Andrew Carnegie was the richest man in the world at the turn of the century. And his philosophy was, give my money away back to society where I got it. So you can thank him for all the libraries, one of the things that he opened up. So here's the key. Who wants to read? This is the law of attraction, one way of reading it. We'd like to read that. Yes,
Kim.
Kim.
The ether in which this little earth floats, in which we move and have our being, is a form of energy moving at an inconceivable high rate of vibration, and that the ether is filled with a form of universal power which adapts itself to the nature of the thoughts we hold in our minds and influences us in natural ways to transmute our thoughts into their physical equivalent.
In other words, what you think, you manifest. That's the bottom line. Law of attraction. In New York City, 1974, Richard Parenti, that's me. I was sitting on the street corner, crying in my beer. I wasn't drinking, but I was crying. And I'm thinking, why did my wife divorce me? Threw me out of the house just like that. And you know, if you ever had a divorce, it's no fun. And I'm thinking, what went wrong? I asked the question, what went wrong? What happened? And this was the end. Unbeknownst to me, a voice started talking to me. And this voice said to me, energy follows thought and returns to the source, you the map maker. So I spent since 1974, all these years, decoding this statement. And I've received many insights to this. And this meaning, you are 100%, because what is energy? I'm talking, there's energy coming out. I'm using certain words, it's a certain kind of energy that comes to you. You get a certain impact of how you hear my words. Either you are uplifted, or something is going on inside you, you're getting a little uncomfortable because some of the stuff is true and it's hitting home, or you're just in a state of joy. See, this is, hey, I'm having fun. How it works. Thinking happy thoughts leads to, thinking unhappy thoughts lead to unhappy emotions, and they lead to unwanted experiences. Happy thoughts lead to happy feelings, lead to happy experiences. That's really the bottom line of all of it. Take out handout number 5. Okay. Who would like to read, okay, it says at the top, energy follows thought and energy follows thought and returns to the source, the map maker. When I think and feel, I attract. I am my point of attraction. The key to the law of attraction is how I feel about myself. Remember when we opened it up, what was the problem? Alcoholism, drug addiction, blah, blah, blah. And the next I said, I'm not, and don't tell me, I'm getting a minute. I want to say Lloyd, Floyd. Okay, I forgot. Lucky. I was close. I was close. Lucky answered it perfectly. He got it immediately. It's about you. You are it. You are chosen. You are the chosen one. You know, I have to admit, I've never read the Bible, but I've heard people say in the Bible that Jesus said, you will do greater deeds than I. You're it. You are it. Not someone else. So, thinking happy thoughts lead to unhappy emotions, and they lead to unwanted experiences. Question, when you think of this, and I'm my point of attraction, me, how I feel about me. So let's stop for one exercise here before we go further. I appreciate about Richard, I'm open-minded, I have a positive mental attitude, I'm uplifting, I'm a giving person, I'm a loyal friend, I keep my word, I follow through. That's 5 items right there. Who can name 5 items right off the top of their head right now, besides Linda and Liz and Denise?
About you or about ourselves?
About yourself. Oh, thank you, Tiffany. That's good.
That's hard to do, we're not in the habit of doing it.
Okay, so let's pick one item. Anyone, pick one item. Somebody. Yes, Olivia.
Oh, I wasn't raising my
Oh,
hand.
I saw it. No,
I was actually
no, you're hot. You got it.
Say 5 things.
One item that you appreciate about yourself.
that I care about other people a lot.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, someone else?
Being a caregiver.
I'm a great caregiver. What else? Linda?
I'm honest.
I'm honest. Okay,
I'm a good listener.
I'm a good listener. These are, you know, we'll get to that sheet later in the, we're gonna take a break here in a minute. But on a sheet, that's the first damn thing I ask you to do in the morning, is sit down, and after a 1-minute meditation, we're gonna teach you how to do today, is to ask that question. What do I appreciate? And it says in parentheses, and include things about me. Now, we can all say here, I appreciate my kids, I appreciate I live in America, I appreciate the government that does all the good for people, all the good things it does. I appreciate business that it gives all these jobs to people and give people money to buy things. I appreciate you know, when you live in a country like Laos and you can't drink the water and the toilet's outside in a hole, you begin to appreciate running water, flushing toilets. And drinking it, able to drink it. So it's easy to appreciate things around us, but to appreciate things about ourselves is the bottom line. That's what this whole thing. Appreciation is the doorway. It's the second major key, one of the keys, major keys, into yourself. Not just to feel good, but to tune in and tap in and tune in to who you really are, your real power. Appreciation. I sat at Village Bakery one day, some months ago, and I'm sitting there thinking, what do I appreciate about life? And I'm going on and on. Then I started, well, what do I appreciate about me? And one item, 2 items. At about the 20th item, I got this big smile and energy just started flooding my entire body, and the universe opened up to me. And I could hear every conversation there. And everyone was being non-judging. I was in a non-judgmental state of whatever I was in. And I recognized at that moment the power of appreciation is the doorway, one of the doorways into yourself. To tap in, tune in to who you really are. Okay, what does negativity look like in most people? Who wants to read the answer? Oh, before we do that, let's stop here and let's take a break. And we're going to take at 3 o'clock, we're going to take a 20-minute break. But we'll take a 5-minute break now, 5-7 minutes, come back, and then then the next hour, we'll take a 15, 20 minutes. Okay?
So,